I just need everyone to know today will be a double upload day. Welcome back to more CS News, guys. Thank you, as per usual, for always being here. What are you sipping on? What are you eating out there? As we've had some big old news out there in the CS world, as per usual, let's just kick things off with all NiP news. As it was a few days back, Draken taking shots at NiP and now being a non-Swedish roster. No Swedes on NiP. The number of years people have watched Ninjas in Pyjamas struggle to kind of find their way back into the kind of rift of things of CS and counterstrike greatness that once was, and now with no Swedish representation, apparently people like Draken were not so happy with NiP, as he took to Twitter to say this, directly adding NiP, saying it's truly crazy how you can be under construction for the past 7 years without any progress, still stomping your head against the wall to get this mediocre international lineup to work. Sure, you have good players, but there are so much more fundamentals to CS, especially when you don't have great players. This international concept has made you crazy, and Threat speaks publicly that there are so few Swedish talents. I beg to differ, and I will show you. You had the chance to pick up my Johnny Speeds lineup, and you could have even kept Rez. We barely practiced and had a coach 50% of the time, and look where that got us. Anyways, had to let off some steam. Everybody knows I'm speaking facts, and you need to get off the Delulu pills. I'm live every day on Twitch. You can catch me there. Bye. And he had me in the first half, and then the self-advertisement in the second half, I was like, he's just going full balls to the wall on this statement, just directly calling out NiP, which I will say, when I first saw this, I definitely agree with some of the remarks. I was like, dang, doing this publicly, like, people were saying he was begging for a job, which I'm not going to take it that far, but I was back and forth on this. Like, one part I do respect because NiP has not been the NiP of old for a long, long time, and someone's got to speak up eventually, and they've been known for their ups and downs. But I would say on the flip side of that, their most recent roster iteration is one that I was finally excited about, as they retain Wrinkle and they go to this international, and you grab a couple guys from SAW. So I thought it was actually a roster on paper that I think a lot of people agreed had some potential and actually could get things done. Now, will they? That's a different question, right? But for me, it felt like for the first time in a long time, they were getting some international talent who have done decent things, have done things and succeeded in the past year, and then you have a real up-and-comer, a real potential talent in Wrinkle. As a lot of people have noted, I was like, oh, maybe this could be the NiP lineup. Clearly, Draken thinking otherwise, as he thinks that NiP should have picked up him in his lineup. A story that will come back for our double upload later this afternoon. What do you guys think about Draken and his comments towards NiP? I thought it was... It's the spice that Counter-Strike news needs, and that's why I love it. And speaking of things out there that NiP will be loving, is they had a recent announcement. They now have a potential $40 million investment from Abu Dhabi, as they've now announced their partnership with the ADIO. I believe that's the Abu Dhabi Investment Office. I don't know what they do, but they obviously have a lot of money. And of all the esports teams out there in the world, they chose Ninjas in Pyjamas. And a breakdown of this deal, guys, is going to be a 4-year, it's a multi-year partnership, which pretty much has NiP establishing their official headquarters over in Abu Dhabi. And apparently this partnership also opens incentives and milestones and performance things that NiP can try to achieve, which will then give them access to up to $40 million in finances. Which, yes, that does sound insane. And of course, people had some remarks to make about what performance milestones NiP could possibly surpass. And I really thought some of these deals with some of this, government money or, big money out there was coming to an end. We have not seen any big esports orgs, at least that I can remember. And maybe I'm foggy brained, but in recent memory, some big teams partnering with things like Abu Dhabi to bring in big money. So I guess if NiP needs it, it is what it is. I'm not going to judge an esports org for taking that kind of money, but $40 million. What are you going to do with that? I mean, hopefully retain the CS guys you got, maybe expand to some other esports out there. We await to see where this $40 million will go. Ironically speaking, because just like many other esports organizations out there, last year NiP lost like $5 million. And now they've received a potential $40 million over 4-year investment. I'm like, that's a good business. I should seek investment because you guys should see this YouTube ad revenue. It is, It's why I'm still on the same table I have been for the last 2 years. You feel me? But it does afford me some nice coffee. And of course, I get to break down Counter-Strike news every single day. I can't freaking complain. NiP all up in the news as Draken has now called them out for going international roster and kind of showing some disdain towards up-and-coming Swedish talent out there. And now NiP is like, hey, Draken, we can't hear you. We got $40 million coming into the bank. We'll see what they do with it. What do you guys think about this? I'll catch you back here in a few hours because we had some major CS drama breakdown this morning, and I just want another cup of coffee before I talk about it. Till then, take care of yourselves. Enjoy whatever you're doing today, okay? Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy some CS. I'll see you back here soon.